For you, Renee. Henry in Surrey. Hello, Henry. I'm Kevin, but you need to talk to Renee.
Hello, Henry. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good evening, Kevin, and good evening, Renee. I'd just like to kind of talk about the wider state of the NHS. I guess that is the very fact that at the moment we've got record spending, record expenditure into the NHS.
Yeah.
I think it's 11% of our GDP, which is actually the second biggest national expense. And yet the public satisfaction with the NHS, I think, is at a record low.
Yeah.
And so kind of what I'm getting at is the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So my question is it kind of time to look at a completely different model of funding for the NHS, maybe something like a France system that's got some sort of means testing, an insurance-based system, or do we kind of keep it what its hallmark is, which is, of course, free at the point of use?
So it's such a massive question, and obviously one I've talked about quite a lot. I mean, I actually think that it needs root and form even in its current state, because I think there is so much wastage. It's been so decentralised with hundreds of little silos, all with their back offices. I mean, psychiatry is a perfect example, which has now been split into so many different departments with so many gaps for patients to fall through. But every one of those has its own back office. They're buying their machinery as they want to from different suppliers, their syringes, their gloves, their aprons, you name it. And everybody who sees an NHS comfort triples the price before they even go in. We need centralised buying from someone really tough who's going to say to 10 suppliers of penicillin, you could be one of my golden 10 suppliers. How much are you going to pay us for us to make you one of those? And I mean that across the board. And people will say, oh, there is procurement centres, but hardly anyone uses it. There are still hundreds of little silos of people doing whatever they want with our money. Then we have to have an honest conversation with the public to say, this is how much money we've got. This is what we can do. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to lose?